Hey guys, it's Christy and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about Pat Mcgrath. So she is having her Black Friday sale going on right now, and it's definitely one of the best Black Friday deals I've seen yet. So before I get into it, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's get into it. So as I mentioned, Pat's Black Friday sale is one of the best I have seen yet. There is 30% off if you spend over $50, 35% off if you spend $150, and 40% off if you spend $250. And there is also a gift with purchase if you spend the $250. This is a good sale for a very pricey brand. So you easily fall into the 35% off if you're planning to pick up one of her motherships. This is her best sale of the year, so if you have been wanting one, now is the time. I most highly recommend Bronze Seduction. So this one is just one of the most neutral, more wearable motherships in my opinion. I do think these are great. The formula is great. These sparkly shades sparkle like nothing else. I do think they're beautiful. I also have Divine Rose too, which I also think is very, very beautiful, but I definitely reach for Bronze Seduction just a little bit more because it's got those neutrally browns. However, I do think this is stunning. I have been eyeing up Divine Rose 1 for a long time, so that's something I'm considering, but I'm not sure. So I do recommend picking up a mothership if you've been wanting one for the longest time. I would say now is definitely the time to do that, and I definitely recommend Bronze Seduction. I would also highly, highly recommend the new 5-pan palettes she came out with for holiday this year. I think these are limited edition, but these are so good. And let me tell you, I like the formula better than her motherships. So in this one you get Bronze Bliss, which is so beautiful. And then you also get Nude Allure, which is also very pretty. So the only downside to these is you only get one matte, but these shimmers in here are so beautiful and they're just gorgeous. They really, really are. And this black is actually so easy to work with. I am somebody who's very shy about black eyeshadow. I don't use it much. I just think it easily looks way too dark and heavy on me. It's actually very, very easy to work with. I was able to just blend it out in the outer corner and just give myself a smoky outer corner. And then I went in with this middle shade here and all over the lid. So beautiful, so sparkly. This is definitely going to be my New Year's Eve look. This is so beautiful. This shade here, this is called Lunar Luxury, and this one almost feels wet to the touch. And with that, it just adheres to the lid so perfectly, and there's minimal fallout with this. I love these palettes. The formula of these is amazing. And then in with Nude Allure, I would say the shade that makes it the most special is this brown shade, which is easily the best matte shadow I have ever worked with. It also feels like a cream, but it is the creamiest, most blendable matte shadow I have ever used, and it really plays so well with these 4 shimmers. So I love these so much. I think these are definitely some of her very best formulas. She does also have her larger holiday palettes. I'm not putting those in this video because I highly recommend these over those. They are great, but I highly recommend these quints. Okay, moving away from eyeshadow. Her blushes are so pricey, but they are such a great formula. So I have 2 individuals and a blush palette. So I have the shade Flirtatious, which is such a beautiful dusty rose blush. This just goes with every look. Every single look, this just looks perfect. So this is one I reach for a ton. And then I also have the shade Cherish, which is a really bright pink. What I like about these is you can use these so much and it takes forever to lose the embossment. I have used this blush a lot, and I still see the embossment. So I love that just because it's just one of those details that lends itself to a bit more of a luxury experience with the makeup, if that makes sense. Maybe that's not important to you, that's totally fine, but to me it's just something, it's just one of those details for me. So I love that. The packaging of these is beautiful, very high end. I love, love, love her blush formula. This is also a blush formula that is super long wearing and lasts all day, and I love them. I also have one of her blush palettes. I don't know if you can still get this one, but I think she does have some available on her website. So this one was from last year's holiday collection. This one is the Divine Blush and Glow Trio in Galactic Sun. So this comes with Divine Rose and Desert Orchid. Desert Orchid has easily become one of my very favorite blush shades that she has. These two are also available individually. Desert Orchid is another really, really beautiful. It's definitely peachy. It's got like almost a copper to it, but somehow it looks very natural. It is so beautiful, especially in the summer, for that sun-kissed bronzed look. It looks so beautiful. Highly recommend that. Divine Rose is also a really beautiful pinky shade. I think it's stunning. And I will say her highlighter formula is definitely among the shinier highlighter formulas. So if you do like a blinding highlight, you may enjoy these. I will say her individual highlights though are so pricey. I don't even know if I recommend them on a sale price. If you're wanting to pick one up and you still love a blinding highlight, they do come in similar packaging to the blushes, so you are getting that luxury experience. It's just that they're so pricey, and for the amount that we actually use highlighter, I don't know that that's worth it. I will say in one of her palettes like this, totally worth it. She did release larger blush palettes for holiday this year with 4 blushes and a highlight. I would recommend picking up those. I didn't because I already have the highlight shade and I also have 4 blush shades, so I just didn't need them, but I would highly recommend them because her blush formula is gorgeous and it's a nice way to try out her highlight without spending an astronomical amount on a highlight. Okay, also sticking with complexion for a minute, the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Blurring Under Eye Powder. So good. Definitely a more delicate powder. It's going to break very easily. This powder is so perfect for under the eyes. It really sets everything so nicely and never lets your under eyes look heavy or crepey. I love this. This is definitely one of the best powders and you can totally use it all over the face. I've done that so many times and it's got such a beautiful blurring quality that I highly, highly recommend this one. I also have to recommend the concealer. I do. So for quite a while now, I've had the concealer in L4, which I haven't used much because it's been too deep. So recently, I believe during the Sephora sale, I picked up L1, which is the lightest, and it's a much better match for me, but I actually combine them together so that I get to use both. This concealer formula is very full coverage, but it looks so good, especially under the eyes, but you can also use it for spot concealing. I use these under the eyes today. The way it erases any sort of darkness is incredible. The way it blends out so easily, a little bit goes a really long way with this concealer, and the way it just blends out, it just blends so seamlessly. I'm finally fully understanding what people are talking about with this concealer, and I highly recommend picking it up. I did also pick up the foundation recently as well, but I've only used it once, so I can't really speak to whether I recommend it yet. So I am wearing it today. Today is my first time trying this, so I can't really recommend this yet, but I will say for my dry skin, it feels really nice. It looks really nice. It gave me a nice coverage level also. I just like how it looks and it feels nice. It's definitely more of a light to medium coverage. You can definitely build it, but it's definitely more on the sheer side, and it's a very, very liquidy formula, which kind of threw me off a little bit, but I will say so far I really like it, but I'm not including it as a recommendation just because I've only tried it once. And finally, Pat is having her legendary lip sale going on right now in addition to Black Friday. I don't believe the lip products count towards the other discounts, but the sale they are on right now is so good. So I believe they're about $14 each. That does not count the newest releases, but her lipsticks, love. So the packaging I really, really do love. So I love this lipstick. So this is definitely So this is her Matte Trance formula, so it's definitely a matte lipstick. It dries down like a soft matte, kind of that suede sort of feel. It looks so pretty on the lips, and this is also a pretty long wearing formula. Very, very comfortable. Highly, highly, highly recommend this formula, especially on her lip sale. The packaging alone makes it worth the steeper price point, so highly recommend these. Her lip liners I also like. They're very long lasting. This is also in the shade Divine Rose. This is more of your, well, this is called the Permagel lip liners, and they are very long wearing, so I love that. I do think these are worth the splurge as well. I've been wanting to pick up one of her more nude shades, but I do think this is a beautiful lip liner formula. And I also highly, highly, highly recommend her glosses. She definitely has one of my favorite lip gloss formulas because they're not sticky. I hate glosses that feel heavy and sticky. These don't. This one is a mini, of course, but this is just such a comfortable lip gloss formula. I love these. So I would recommend these. They're so shiny and pretty, and she's got so many shades, and they are pigmented, but they're still a gloss, and they're just not sticky. You're not going to find your hair all through your lip gloss all day. So highly recommend the lip gloss formula. My top recommendations, definitely the concealer, the under eye powder, the blushes, and the lip gloss would probably be my favorites, but I really, really recommend these quints as well. So easily, I recommend everything Pat McGrath. I honestly like these quints more than her motherships. In my opinion, her motherships are great, but I like these better. So I do recommend them over those, but if you have been wanting to pick up a mothership, they are amazing, so I do recommend them. It's just I think these are better. Those are my thoughts on her products. Let me know down below if you're planning to shop her sale, if you're planning to pick anything up. I love hearing from you guys. Thank you so very much for watching. If you're new here, I hope you'll consider subscribing before you go. I do upload at least 3 new videos every single week. Thank you again so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!